Hi everybody. I've been asked quite a few times how to make this t-shirt into this ball of t-shirt yarn. So it's one continuous piece of yarn. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is cut off any unusable part of the t-shirt. So here we have some writing or some plasticky, lettering and stuff on it. So I cut all that off. And then after I cut that off, what I do, and you don't have to do this, but I do it because you get, 2 to 3 more tries out of it, is I actually open up that bottom seam. So I cut out the seam, pull out the stitching and everything, and I do that. So now what you have is a band, right? A band of fabric. So then you take that fabric and you're going to fold it, not quite in half. Move this tool out of the way. This is a really cool tool I just got today. I can't wait to show you. But 3D printers are so cool. And they don't mess up your rotary blade, which I have already done many times. So what I'm doing right now is I'm folding the fabric, not quite to the top. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm folding it. It's about 2 inches from the top, okay? And then I'm going to just lay that flat, make sure everything's nice and lined up and flat as much as I possibly can make it. And then I'm going to go ahead and take it and fold it a little bit more. Fold it up again, but I'm not going to go past that line, okay? Because when you go to cut this, to make it one big continuous piece, we're going to cut it up and cut over the first top piece of fabric, but we're not going to cut through this other piece, all right? So I'm going to lay that back down. Oh, I just messed it up. All right, lay that back down. All right, bring this up. And then what we're going to do is cut this into 1-inch strips, all right? So this really cool tool that I just got today, I'm not sure what it's called, but I'm going to call it a rotary guide. So if you can see, it has these little grooves, right? It was made on a 3D printer. It was donated to me. It was amazing. But each of these grooves is a 1/2 inch apart. So since I'm using 1 inch, I want to do 1-inch pieces. I'm going to go ahead and go, every other groove. So I'm going to lay this down, and it made life so much easier. So I know, like, if you notice here, there's a little bit extra. I just leave it. It's fine. Not that serious. If you want to cut it off, cut it off. I'm going to line it up. Then I'm just going to go ahead and cut the strips. But remember, when you cut it, I'm going to show you with this first cut, okay? So with this first cut, and that's another thing I like, because my blades were dull. So I actually am getting a little bit more life out of the ones that were messed up. But you can go up and down. I don't know if it's good for the mat, but it's all right. So what it does is it cuts it. And you have your strip, right? And then it's still connected at the top. So leave it there. I'm going to push that back so it's out of my way. And I'm going to just cut 1-inch strips now. All right. And make sure you don't cut it. I've cut it over before, and if that happens, then when you end up having not a big ball, you end up with 2 smaller balls of yarn. So. All right. And this last one, it ends up a little, I don't like them to be too thick. It actually gets a little funky when you go to pull it. So this last one that's a little bit, oh, you can't even see it. This last little part that's a little extra, I'm going to have to just cut that piece off. All right. So now what we're left with, I'll move that way. Not that way. All right. So now what you have is this fabric cut with strips attached at the top, right? So what I do, and I found the easiest way for me, because I've made a whole bunch of these now, I stick my hand in it, sort of like you're putting your hand in your sleeve, and I just like lay it on my arm, and I fluff it all out a little bit. Okay, it just makes it easier when it lays that way. And then I go ahead and you're going to have to go and cut these on a diagonal, because that's what makes it one big continuous piece. So I'm going to take my scissors, and the first cut, I'm going to start, and I'm going to cut from nowhere, basically from the edge to that first opening, right? It's a little bit harder to hold it straight up. Right like that. Okay, so you're going to cut it right there and let it fall. And then what you're going to do is cut from here. So you go right in that first loop, and I actually let my scissors help me out, and go right, let it go right from one to the other. I've learned that 2-inch mark is just long enough for the scissors, so you might want to make it a little shorter, but or 2-inch mark. I'm sorry, not 1 inch. Go ahead and just keep cutting all these strips. I want to bring it down because it's a little easier. Actually, it's a lot easier to do it when you're not putting it up in the air. Okay. All right. But once this part's done, you pull them and roll them into a big yarn ball. Sorry, don't want to cut my finger. Almost. So at the end it gets a little like funky. So I'm going to cut from this last little piece, last slice up here, and then you're going to have like an upside down Y and cut it on that diagonal again, just like we did on that first cut. And there you go. So now what I like to do is pull it off first and then roll it up. So you pull, pull, pull. And notice that when you do that, it turns this flat fabric into ties. And then afterwards, you just roll it into a ball. So that's what I do. All right. If you have any questions, please let me know. All right.